Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here today with our guest, Kay from the Bachelor podcast. And do you still co-host the podcast with Jared?
Yeah, so Jared and I co-host the Bachelor podcast.
Okay.
Yes, we've been hosting it together since like 2020, I guess.
Wow.
It feels crazy, a long time. But I've been doing it since Colton season, long time ago.
And do you guys have, because like Bachelor is basically like a media brand. You do other podcasts too, right? Like I've seen you posting about other ones. Am I right?
Yeah. So Betches has produced The Bachelor for a long time now. It started off with the three co-founders. They were doing it. And then I took over with Derek Paith for a while. And then then Jared and I have been doing it ever since. But they have other podcasts. I think like 8 at this point.
Yeah.
I used to host at Betches, which was one of them as well. They're still going on now, but I love Betches. Been working there since like 2016. So happy to still be here.
Do you like Jared?
Love Jared. Jared and I have known each other since the jump. Wait, do you not like Jared?
No, I like Jared. He usually
he's just messing with you.
He's been like one of our recurring guests, and he comes on.
To
talk about hometowns.
Yeah, he's done a couple hometown episode recaps here, and he cracks us up. It's always fun having him on as a guest.
He always says the best stuff about you guys every time we talk, or like if you guys come up about something, we're always chatting. So I know we both love you guys so much, and also loved watching your journey. How's it like being married? Not that this is my podcast and I should be asking any questions, but I'm just curious.
No, go for it. Yeah, no, being married's great.
It's good. It's the same as not being married.
Love it.
Yeah, it's great. So far, so good.
So we saw you actually went down to Costa Rica, Paradise. Why? What were you doing there? What was that all about?
So fun. Again, I've been covering The Bachelor for a long time, so this was such a cool experience. They reached out and they were like, hey, we're doing a whole new Paradise. We want to invite some of you down who either cover like pop culture or just been fans of the show for a long time. So we got to see the resort. We got to do a fun press junket with some of the cast members that we don't know all of them. We just know like a few. And we got to meet Jesse and Hannah and Wells, who I've actually met prior to this before, just like being in the Bachelor Nation universe. But we got to see the resort and all of the fun stuff that goes along with it. And I think it's going to be a really, really exciting season. I'm excited for the revamp. I mean, you guys saw the last one. You guys were at the last resort. So this is definitely
nicer,
different.
right?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the resort?
We've
heard it's nicer.
I heard it's like much nicer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a gorgeous, gorgeous resort. It's beautiful. It's definitely no sand in the bed. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there like doors and windows?
Doors and windows. Though I'm going to be honest with you. I do not know if. I don't know a lot of the details, but if they're staying at the actual resort, there are doors, walls, windows, AC.
AC, you could drink the water, which is nice.
Goes crazy, I know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, Kay, the main reason we have you here is because the Bachelor in Paradise cast has officially been announced, and we're going to go through everyone. We want to hear your thoughts. Be nice, be mean, be fun, say whatever you want about it.
No, I'm so excited.
We're going to do the same. But before we get into that, do you have a favorite season? Because you've been covering the show for so long. Do you have a favorite season of Bachelor in Paradise?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I think one of my favorite seasons, just because I think the players were such heavy-hitting players, was like the Ashley I, Kayla Quinn, Jared, that whole season where Jared and Ashley I finally decided to be together. I think that was one of the best seasons. It's just like so much drama.
Yes.
Nice.
I agree. All right. Should we get into the cast announcements? Joe and I have seen the official cast. And just for context, this is everyone that's going to be down there day one. Obviously, with Paradise, we know that people are coming and going throughout the entire season. So this is just the original first day one cast that we're going to be reviewing today. And Kay, you know a few of these people because you went down to Paradise and did some interviews and all of that, but you don't know everyone. So a lot of this is going to be like a reaction for you.
Okay, great. I'm so excited. I actually have goosebumps.
Good. We're
super
excited too. All right, let's get into it. So first up, we have Alex from Bachelor 29, which was the last season of The Bachelor, Grant Ellis' season. She is from New Brunswick, Canada, a pediatric speech therapist, and she is 28. You guys might remember Alex. She was the First Impression Rose recipient and the first one-on-one date recipient on Grant season, so like an early fan favorite. And then, you know, she kind of had a trickle-off effect. We ended up seeing she got sent home before hometowns. Some people were really surprised by that. What do we think? I feel like there's no shock that she's she's
even seeing her night the first night, I was like, that's a Paradise contestant.
Yes. And in her hot seat on the at the Women Tell All for Grant season, I feel like it really felt like they were teeing her up for Paradise. Like, I actually thought they were going to do an early announcement for her in her hot seat like they did with Hakeem and Zoe.
Yeah, this is a great cast member for Paradise, just because exactly what you said, honestly. She was such a heavy hitter at the beginning. She got that one-on-one date because of the First Impression Rose. I remember they did that thing where if you got the First Impression Rose, you automatically got the first one-on-one date. But you're right. She kind of faded away a bit towards the end. So I'm excited to see her on Paradise. She's perfect for this. And I really hope they all find love, but I hope she finds love because she seems great.
Okay. I feel like she's going to do well in Paradise. I mean, there's always cast members, Joe and I will be like, okay, yeah, they're great on the normal season, but like they're really suited for Paradise. I don't even know exactly what it is. I think it's just like the more outgoing, kind of like silly, magnetic personalities.
Right.
And I feel like she kind of falls in that category. Like we were like, yeah, I don't know if I see it with her and Grant, but I think she's well suited. And I think there's going to be a lot of guys that have their eye on her already.
A lot of heartbreak, I fear, coming the guys' way.
All right. Next up, we have Bailey, also from Grant season, Atlanta, Georgia, social media manager, 28. Do you remember Bailey? She never got a one-on-one date, I don't think, and she went home a little bit earlier on Grant season.
I'm glad she's casted. I think she'll be great.
She's another great personality for Paradise. So bubbly, so fun. What do you think?
I agree. I think she's super, super fun. I'll never forget her in Grant season when she was like, I just can't stop crying. And I related to that so hard. I was like, I knew she wanted to stop crying, but like her emotions were built up so much. And it was such a relatable moment. Love Bailey. Super excited for her. I remember she brought those was it like a bob or like a wig or something for Grant to wear?
Yeah.
Yes, she did. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, night one, they did like a little wig try on. That was hilarious.
Yeah, she kind of like fizzled off. She was another one that really didn't get much like screen time, kind of fizzled out a little bit. So like, I'm glad that they cast her because and I think a lot of guys will like her.
Yeah, so. I think she's very bubbly.
That's the key. That's the key to all this shit. It's just about like, will this person will a lot of people want to date this person, and if they will, then it's going to be a good show.
Well, and I do think that for Paradise day one, it is kind of like an extrovert's game, unfortunately, a little bit. Like when you go on The Bachelor, like you are kind of guaranteed at least like 5 to 10 minutes of one-on-one time. So you don't have to be like the most outgoing person or the biggest personality in the room for them to like really get a sense of who you are, because you're going to get that time. So they don't have to like naturally be drawn to you necessarily to find out that they like you. Whereas Paradise, that first day, the people that do come in with like a bigger personality and like just more confident in that like environment tend to have a better first day. Doesn't mean like you can't find love as an introvert. No, unless you're like, hopefully you're finding someone else that hangs out in the background.
Right.
Okay, next up. She's just straight laughing at the guy.
He is a cartoon character to me, but go ahead and do the intro.
So we have Brian. He is from Bachelorette 21, which is Jen's season of The Bachelorette. He's from Florida, an aesthetics consultant, 34 years old. This photo is so funny to me. We only have like the cropped version on our phones of like just the headshot, but seeing the full like the look back, like this is such an Instagram photo.
such an Insta photo. And I will never forget also when I think it was Jeremy in the car during Jen's season. Like Jeremy, I think brought this car or he brought the car, but there was some
those,
sort of
those are the two guys.
Yes.
Yeah, those
Oh
are the
my
two guys that
gosh.
got in a fight about the car. Was that it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it was. And it was really confident of him to come out here and do all of that. He's kind of, I worry about him because I feel like he's kind of, for lack of a better word, a joke. But you know what I mean? Like it feels like a little too like silly, goofy mood and not serious looking for love. But I'm ready to stand corrected if I'm wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. I kind of agree. I don't know. I mean, we just don't, some people you just don't see a lot of. So it's just hard.
Correct.
Like how, and we only really know of him with involved in a little bit of
Well,
drama.
that car interaction was so
Yeah, that was
silly. Like he was sitting in the car, he wouldn't get out. It wasn't even his car. It was like, what's even happening here? Like it just feels like you're trying to mess with this dude for no reason. You've been here for
Felt like
2
an
hours.
ego thing.
Yeah, it felt like an ego thing. But I mean, we're always here for a redemption. I feel like you might
Love
need
it.
to be with someone that's a little bit quirkier, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who I see him with. All right, let's jump to the next one. We have the one and only Dale Moss. Kay, did you know he was going to be there?
I did know he was going to be there. He was
Okay.
one of the people we got to interview. And I want to tell you that when I found out that he was going to be there, I was very shocked. I was like, whoa, because he had that stint with Claire. And then we kind of lost Dale. We didn't really see him, but this is going to be a big one. I think the women are going to love him. He is so tall. He's so tall, so handsome and charming. I'm excited to see what we get from Dale because I think he's going to be a hot player, and I think a lot of the women are going to want him. So I'm excited to see who he chooses.
I agree. For those that maybe aren't familiar, Dale Moss was on Claire's season of The Bachelorette. And this was an iconic moment where Claire and Dale got engaged after 3 episodes of the show and left.
Yeah.
They obviously didn't work out. And he's 35 years old. I think there's something appealing about these guys. It's kind of actually ironic that I'm about to say this. That come back a few years later and have experience on the show and in the franchise. And there's they usually I feel like Blake Moynes, he came into Paradise, what was it, last season or 2 seasons ago, with a lot of ease, right? He's I've been here before, the sense of confidence. And I'm wondering if we're going to see that from Dale.
How about your husband?
Well, or if we're going to see what you did, which is just completely freak out. You came in and you were what the fuck am I doing back here?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering the energy we're going to see from Dale on day one.
It was bad.
But I agree. I think a lot of women are going to be interested.
What do you think of when you hear Amazon Prime? Delivery trucks out so easy.
At Gestural implant right away and use a talk to your doctor, visit
So you can keep on local CVS store.
shapewear, sleepwear, or different styles. Next up, we have Hakeem, fan favorite from Jen's season, and he's 30 years old. And we already knew he was going to be there because they announced it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Kay, what's your take on him? I mean, not much to talk about because we kind of, we knew he was going to be there, but what do you think?
I mean, I like Hakeem a lot. I think he was such a bright light on the show, just made everything feel fun and lighthearted. Every time he came on screen, I knew I could breathe for a second out of the drama. Another one that I worry about him getting his heart broken because he does seem like the sensitive type a bit. And
I agree.
I wonder what this is going to bring him. Also, one thing that after watching Paradise, and you guys I'm sure can already know this, is that Paradise kind of either gives you a redemption story or kind of brings you down from that throne. And I wonder what's going to happen with him because he has this fandom and he has this love from the fans so much. I don't know. I hope he doesn't mess this up because that would be sad.
Yeah, I could see it being because he's he has this right now his story is just this bright, fun personality, but I could almost see it like him,
That-
Like him
Firing.
being like, oh my God, I've gotten
like socially,
in too deep.
like who was the guy? I think it was on the last Paradise.
Rodney,
No, not Rodney. I like Rodney.
because they kind of friend zone themselves. I feel like he's going to friend zone himself. That's
Well, there was
my
there was a guy at the beginning of Paradise who got like in a love triangle, but like
Yeah, I know
handled
who
it
you're
like
talking about.
terrible,
with,
and then he like would run away and cry. And
it
then
was
he,
with
like,
Kylie
Oh,
and
Romeo.
Yes,
Romeo.
yes,
No,
yes.
yeah.
with Jill and Kira.
Yeah. So like, I could
Yes.
see it being
Right.
something like that, where it's like no one's that serious.
Or he like
but
kind of
That's a good idea.
it'll either be like he gets friend zoned because he's just kind of
Mhm.
got this like light bubbly personality and like he doesn't form a romantic connection, or he's gonna end up in like an accidental love triangle because he's just like too nice and doesn't know how to like navigate this
know.
world of like women throwing themselves at him.
I love Hakeem though, so I am curious to see what this journey is going to bring him.
Yeah, we will
That's
see.
true. All right, next up we have Jeremy. Jeremy is from Jen season. He made it to Hometowns or Fantasy Suites. And I'm
Yeah.
going to stop saying their jobs because no one cares.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
He was on Jen season. That's his job.
That's
yeah,
his job.
That's his job. He was on Jen season. I don't have too much hope for Jeremy, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Only because I've interviewed him a few times and we've talked to him a few times, and I've mentioned Paradise, and he's always said he's not even going to go. And of course, he's in the original cast. But his thing is, he kept saying that he met all the women.
Yes, he has been saying that. Like, I've talked to a lot of these women. I've met them. It's hard when you live in like a New York or LA too. Your paths kind of end up organically crossing, or they all go seek each other out, and they're like, "Oh, I'm
about
going
to
to
say-
drinks, and I ran into Jeremy, and he's going to come out with all his friends, and we're all going to hang out," which is
Right.
just like it happens every season.
Yeah, so like I feel like in like just looking at the original cast and there only being 6 women, like I just feel like he may have met half of these girls. So if he doesn't have a strong connection immediately, then I
Yeah.
don't know. But
I don't know. Jeremy, I think he says he doesn't want to be a part of this stuff, but he low key does. I mean, you don't have to hang out with everybody from Bachelor Nation every time you go out, but if that's every picture you're posting on social media is you and everybody from your cast, then you're obviously hanging out with the girls. I think he's wanted to come this whole time, and he was just playing it off and trying to be cool about it.
Yeah, Jeremy has told us in like 3 interviews that he's not going to do Paradise, and I've
Yeah,
not
no.
believed it one time that he said it. Like not
No.
one time, for not even for like a second, not even like 1% of it. Like I was like, yeah, okay, you're going. You'll be there. You'll be original cast. Like we know how this plays out. Like there's someone from every season that claims like they're not going. I don't know. I'd rather meet someone the organic way, and then like they're down there. So like no shame to him. It always happens. But
I do want to
think-
say one thing though about
say
Jeremy.
it. Say it.
Is that on The Bachelor, Jared and I talked about, and then our producer at the time, Jazz, Jeremy's kiss with Jen was like one of top 5 kisses I've seen on the show.
Which kiss?
So I hope, honestly, any of them. But there was one. There was one. I don't know if it was like Hometowns or it was closer to the end where it was it was a really good kiss. So I hope one of the girls at least gives him a chance to get a kiss in because it looked good.
Okay. I mean, I
Just
think
saying.
the girls
I'm just
are going to
saying.
like him. I think he's not going to have an issue with that. I think the girls are going to be into him for sure.
Yeah.
I just think it's hard if you're in Paradise and you have a like too cool for school attitude. Like you have to really be ready to go down there and put
Lean
yourself
into
out
it.
there and lean into it. So I'm curious to see what approach he takes.
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right. Next up, we have Jess. She was not Grant season. She was Joey season. And she got kind of like I don't know if I'd go as far to call it a villain edit, but she didn't look super great at times on the show. I think she was kind of a little bit involved in the Maria drama.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
She was involved in the Maria drama, but if I'm being so honest, I completely forgot about her. She was one of the people that we also interviewed in Paradise. And I remember them mentioning her name and I was like, I can't put a finger on who this is. And then I saw her. She's kind of like, I remember her during her season when she was announced, she was like the Hannah Brown copy paste.
Yes.
Yep.
And I love that she has gone brunette, gets her out of that, I think that like realm. but I don't have a lot of details on her. I don't know much about her. She was super sweet when we interviewed, very fun. I think she'll be fun on the beach. I do think I have a feeling she's going to be there for a bit. And I think the guys will like her because she's very bubbly, very super friendly. I think she's going to do well.
Okay.
She looks
That's good
really
to know.
good in this photo. Like, she looks good brunette. This is a gorgeous photo of her.
Yeah, love.
I would love to see, I don't know, like I said, she wasn't on Joey's season that long. She wasn't like a villain by any means, but I would just love like a redemption story for her. Like, I would love to see more of like a fun, playful side to her. I feel like we saw her crying a lot and diving into like more serious things when she was talking to Joey. And I would just love to see a more fun, playful, flirty side to her. I think if we can see that, like, this could be a good journey for her to kind of switch it up.
Joey's season was a bigger season, like a first like bigger season we've had in a while, and I think there was some like really like women that popped off on that season, like Maria, Kelsey, Daisy, where like Jess was middle of the pack. Jen literally became the Bachelorette. So Jess, you just kind of like you remember her.
Yeah, it was
but
tough
not,
competition.
Yeah.
To stand out on that season.
Yeah, that was a really, really hard season to stand out. You're totally right, Serena.
Yeah. Next up, we have Jonathan. We already knew he was going, right?
This is an interesting photo.
I'm glad they cropped it where they did, or it would have just been like a lot of inner thigh.
Yeah, it's just
I'm
like
clutching my pearls.
yeah. What a photo.
Jonathan was on Jen's season.
He was the first person announced.
He
right?
was the first. Was he the first person announced
Yeah.
for Paradise?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, he was. I mean, even if he hadn't been announced, like, would have been no surprise.
Yeah.
He made it very far in Jen's season. Was kind of another fan favorite. Super handsome. So I don't know. I think he'll do good. I think he'll be someone that like hopefully connects with someone like right away and just kind of like settles down.
Yeah, I think so too.
I have some notes and I disagree.
Okay, yes.
Tell us.
Yeah. What do you got?
I like Jonathan as a person. Very cool. I've hung out with him here in LA a few times, but I think he is not here for the right reasons. I think he is here for social clout.
Interesting. Really?
I do not find him as a serious person when it comes. I don't see it. I don't know if it's like, and there's no shade in making TikTok videos and being on social and everything, but there's something about him. I worry that he's not coming here seriously looking for something, and I would predict that he does not leave with anything more than maybe a girlfriend or like a let's leave the beach together. They're not getting in. He's not getting engaged. If I had to predict,
I like that prediction.
Yeah,
he's
because
gonna
I
hate
feel
me
like
for all of this. I know
no,
it.
but I feel like that's an interesting take because I feel like watching him on Jen's season, what we've seen of him, and then he kind of came off of that show as like the only likable guy almost.
Correct.
He definitely was like the favorite. He was the one that people were like, "Oh, Jen, you messed up. Like you should have picked Jonathan," kind of thing. There's always like one of those. But what you're saying is super interesting because I do feel
flipped.
Well, yes, like he definitely ended up like going hard on socials for sure. But I think when you go down to the beach, if you're not serious, unless you're like soulmate or your wife is there, which can still happen where you're like, holy shit, I might have not come down here with serious intentions, but like this is the person for me. People feel that. Like you sense it, especially like women. I feel like they pick up on that. And I feel like it will result in him going home earlier than people are expecting because there's a chance that the girls just don't take him seriously or they sense that like, like I like him if I'm looking for like a fun fling on the beach, but like I don't think this guy's maybe looking for a wife.
He reminds me of Aaron Clancy.
Okay.
Who was with
he was on our season.
He was on our season, and then I think he went back.
Oh, he
and
went
was
back
with
as
Genevieve.
well. Yeah,
but I will say to that point
for Genevieve, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was so obvious, and like I literally love Aaron so much, but I thought it was so obvious on our season that he wasn't there to be serious. He was there to hang out with James. He just wanted to chill with James and go on some fun dates.
He was the first person I talked to when I went down on the beach, and one of the first, and he came. He was like, "Grocery store Joe, what's up, bro?" And I really like Aaron, and I remember thinking, what the fuck am I doing here?
I know.
What am I doing back on this show?
I just feel like he's gonna be there and he'll want to stay on as long as he can. He's gonna give out friendship roses, or hope that he gets a friendship rose so we can stay longer. I don't know.
He might be like the Aaron Clancy of the season, where he just kind of like hops around. Yeah, friendship roses. The new girl comes in, takes him on a date. Get through that week, and like kind of just skips his way to the end.
There is nothing more boring to me on this show than the friendship rose.
Thank you.
I find it to be one
Get
of the,
out of here.
like, it's so fucking boring. It's like, we get it that you guys are all friends and we like this person.
It's
but
unavoidable, right? Because sometimes it's just like, I literally don't have a connection and I have to give out a rose this week. So like, who am I going to give it to?
Then give it to somebody that nobody wants to stay there, because then at least that's fun to watch.
At least there's drama.
What do you think of when you hear Amazon Prime? Delivery trucks outside easy. Right now,
Measurable thing.
Implant 68 milligram. Use a non-hormonal doctor. Visit Nexplanon.com.
on saving on all the brand or CVS.com/.
They have it all. Adore Me has a solution that I'm feeling. And with sets starting as low as kills me, because it's like giving like model shot. Comfortable to sexy in over 67 sizes. Next up, we have Justin Glaze. This photo of him like kills me because it's like giving like model shot.
It's too serious for him.
He's
He's a very, very goofy person. But what's so funny is like watching him on social. He also gives me very much like Jonathan energy. I think he's probably maybe more serious about finding somebody this time, because he's kind of like been around for a bit longer. But again, he was with Susie for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Justin's backstory is he was on Katie Thurston's season of The Bachelorette, which was like 4 years ago now, and he made it all the way to Final Four. Then he went on Paradise season 8. It kind of was one of those like he just never really stuck the landing. Like it felt like he would kind of jumped around to different people, went home, he came back for Eliza, which was kind of weird because she was with Rodney.
yeah,
Did you feel
the-
like why would you do that?
Well,
Yeah.
it was like she was dating Rodney at the time on the beach. It was like Rodney and Eliza were the couple, and then Justin came back down and like stole Eliza from Rodney, which was kind of weird because they were like friends.
Right.
The whole storyline was bizarre. Eliza was kind of like playing both of them a little bit. She kind of wasn't looking too great that season, but it's been a few
also good
years.
for her.
But also go up, Eliza.
But also good for her.
And now Justin's just come out of like a bit of an on and off, but like long, serious relationship with Susie Evans.
Well, I think like if I had to guess, like watching that Paradise season, which I thought wasn't the best, Justin's back because of his past relationship with Susie, and they are going to be bringing that to the beach. If I were to guess why he's back,
Well, is that a spoiler?
oh well, I would. It's not a spoiler, but I'm going to assume, knowing the show and knowing what they did to me,
Yeah.
I would assume
Maybe she's coming back as well.
Well,
Yeah,
Susie
even if she
strikes
doesn't
me as
come back,
someone who would want to do Paradise
Yeah.
if she had the opportunity.
Ah, right.
So
yeah.
if, Justin strikes me as someone who would want to do Paradise if if he had the opportunity. He's already down there. It's I guess whether Justin being there would prevent Susie from going, or if she would go anyway is the question, because I'm sure they asked her. I mean, she's single,
Okay.
she's beautiful.
Well, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
How do you feel about coming to Paradise to rekindle a past relationship? Like, do you feel like that's not genuine? You know what I mean? Like they both live in LA.
yeah, I
Or-
do.
Why would right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, why don't you just handle it outside of the beach and just date? Because you're around each other all the time. I see them at events all the time. They're always together in the same friend group. If you have to come to Paradise to rekindle things, I don't know. I'm just curious what you guys think.
Well, I agree. Like if they get to, if she comes down to Paradise and they get together, it's going to be really hard for a
passion.
level-headed person to not be like this. Why didn't you just figure this out at home? Not like
Right.
I could see it like, I don't have an issue with them both going and then there being like, feelings from the past and being a little confused and all that. And maybe their minds change when you do see them actually dating someone else and you're like, but if it's just a clean, like, hey, we're back and we're going to get back together on this show, then it's like, okay, well, you could have
Get outta here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if
Okay.
she comes down and they like immediately start to like be like, should we give this another try? It's like, guys, there's no way you weren't suspicious you were both going to be down here. Like you didn't want to figure this out before. But I think that if they are both down there, it's going to be natural for there to be like messiness around them dating
Yeah.
other people in front of each other. Because like the breakup wasn't like that long ago, was it? Like within the last year.
Yeah. I don't know.
think so. Yeah. Didn't feel very dramatic either. So we'll see.
So next up we have Kat.
Oh
who-
my God.
Yeah, like totally makes sense. She's back.
Does it make sense?
For her
I'm
to be
immediately
single and be back,
stressed.
yeah. I feel like, yeah, like it makes sense she's back if she's single. She had a weird engagement with John Henry.
Yeah, after like 9 days or something.
Bizarre.
She is someone that I
Bizarre.
think would get engaged every time she goes on this show. Like she just has that like fuck it mentality. Like
But-
And she wouldn't think anything of it.
yeah.
But I liked
Yeah,
her
another
on,
one.
on Paradise. I thought she was great.
She was like crucial to the entertainment of the season.
Yeah.
I know she got a lot of
Yes.
hate and like she got way too much in my opinion for what was going on, like an undeserving amount of hate. But I think she's good for the show.
Yeah.
She's completely like unhinged on the show. Again, great for TV, great for the whole moving the plot along. I hope she comes back this season with the same type of like energy, but maybe half.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just like, you know what I mean? Just because watching her sometimes stressed me out.
Yeah.
It was stressful.
Yeah.
At
Just like a
times.
little bit.
Like you want to
Very
jump through
cheeky.
your screen and just be like, girl, I like chill.
Just
You
wanna
got to
shake
chill
her
out.
by your
Like I want to
shoulders.
shake you and be like, what are you doing?
Like you're the
Yes.
one person here that should not have any issues. Like
No.
she
She's
she
so
should
hot.
be. Yeah, she's like all the guys will like her. Just chill out for a second, but she couldn't.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
she's gorgeous. Like she's gonna have it easy getting down there.
Ooh.
But I
I
hope
could see
that
her with Dale. She would
I
eat.
love that.
She would
She would
love
eat Dale alive.
She would eat Dale alive. Because Dale's kind of like timid. Dale's a quiet guy.
she needs that. She needs the yin yang situation.
Yes. Cool.
Okay, next up we have Kyle.
Oh my God.
Do you remember him? Because I don't remember.
Yes. I have hung out with Kyle many a time. He was after Katie's season. We became great friends. Super nice guy.
Okay.
Honestly, forgot he existed with full respect. I just haven't talked to him in a long time. So I'm shocked at this. I'm going to be
Okay.
shocked. I'm shocked.
I'm shocked too.
What do you? Because I don't really remember him. So he was on a Katie Thurston season.
There wasn't anything. I mean, from my knowledge, I don't think there was anything to remember. Super nice, very like awkward guy. I went like this. That's crazy. Awkward kind of guy, but hanging out in the background a bit. So this choice is interesting.
It is a random choice for me. Like nothing against Kyle, but there was just
No.
so many contestants to choose from this season. Like what made them be like, who we need to circle back on is Kyle. From
Kyle.
4 years ago who went home
that's
early
good-
on
but
Katie's season.
But that's good when they do that because like so he's good looking. Somebody like him, he could.
yeah, good looking dude.
You're
That's
right.
kind of all
I think
you
it's
need.
good to throw in a wild card of
Yeah.
like people won't expect to see him there, but yeah, he's good looking and like maybe we'll form a serious connection.
That's
Yeah.
funny. You guys are like, he's good looking. I'm like, he is Joe in a different font.
Yeah.
Just like italicized or something.
He is a little bit, yeah.
The same.
Okay, next up we have. See how fast I go? Boom, let's go.
Oh wow.
Lexi's back. This is one that
Yeah.
really makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I even thought she was potentially going to be.
The Bachelorette.
Bachelorette
Yeah, we thought
after
she
that
had
season.
maybe a good chance of being the Bachelorette. We really liked her on Joey's season. She made it far. She has endometriosis, which I'm curious to see if that impacts like her day-to-day experience when we're like filming in a hot climate in Costa Rica.
Yeah, I connected with Lexi a lot. She's great. I also love her sharing her story about having endo. I also had endometriosis and adenomyosis and a fibroid tumor that was also in my uterus. I had a full hysterectomy 2 months ago.
Oh
Wow.
my
Because
gosh.
of it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I really, really loved her story and connected with that. And I hope that she finds somebody that's serious because, I mean, her whole thing on Joey's season was talking about how she was like, I have this timeline, like things are ticking. Like, I don't know even what my organs are able to do right now. So I hope she finds somebody that's going to take her seriously and take this seriously because, yeah, she needs that. She's great. Love that.
Same. Agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I hope we can't have anyone down there wasting Lexi's time.
No.
Okay.
No.
Next up, we have Ricky.
Huh.
I don't know who this man is.
Ricky was
I
on
literally was like,
he was on Jen season, and yeah, I hate
Right.
to say this, but I don't remember him.
He must have went
I'm
home
sorry
really
to this
early.
man.
I'm sorry to
Hate
this
to say
man.
it, but I don't know who this man is. The Kiki
I
Palmer.
do. I know
Yeah,
exactly.
We got him and Kyle back to back, and they're both. Yeah, I don't.
Was he the guy that was doing? Did he do like a bunch of backflips the first night of Jen's season? Who was the guy that? Maybe he wasn't.
I don't know.
Truly,
I mean, he
like,
looks like
could
he could.
happen,
He could
or-
potentially could do
Yeah.
one.
I have no idea. Ricky, we're so sorry, but we can't wait to see you in paradise.
Yeah, I don't know who this is, but very good looking, super
Yeah.
cute.
Super cute.
Yeah,
I
ready
like
to
the
see him in
outfit.
paradise.
Like he looks like he's got good style.
Okay.
Ricky, we'll see you
29.
there.
Okay, I'm
Good luck,
curious.
babe.
I'm curious on your thoughts on this guy. Next up, Sam M from Jen
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, he was the OG villain of the season. Turned like kind of less of a villain because he like hated Devin so much, and then everyone else was like, "We also hate Devin now."
Yeah, but the season was over, so
Yeah,
it
the
was too
season
late.
was
Yeah,
over.
it was a little too like.
It was-
At the end of the day, Sam was right about Devin, but we also weren't wrong about Sam.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just because he made that point doesn't mean the points that were made about
Valid.
him were off.
Yes, all the points made about Sam M are probably still valid,
Well-
but he did clock Devin.
I could see him having a redemption story. I've been
I
saying
hope
that.
so.
though.
I hope so too.
He's a good looking guy. He's like very good looking. I'm sure he means well, but hopefully he like, you know, talked it out with a therapist, like figured out like honestly just like relationship goals in general. It's like, okay, this is what I was given and this is what I was on TV and how everything he was
Yeah.
saying didn't make any sense and it didn't kind of go together and nothing was lining up. So hopefully he took that and is kind of like going into this with a mentality of this is the new me. What you saw, yeah, but now we have this. Because again, he's a great looking guy.
Mhm.
So I feel like the women will like him, but I wonder if they'll forget.
Yeah. Well, I
his
also
past. I don't
think
know.
like I think there's a chance like looking back, he might realize like he wasn't really that into Jen. Like I think he just got caught up in the show of it all.
The competition.
Like the competition element. Like I don't know if I really saw that connection with him and Jen. I don't think he really like felt what he thought he felt for her. So I would love to see him come down, like really fall for someone and get
yeah.
to see it like a more genuine, authentic side of him. Like we love a redemption story when it comes to Paradise. And I think people, as much as like it was not good for him on Jen's season for good reason, I would love to see this be different for him.
There's a
Yeah.
chance. There's a chance.
There's a chance. We're
Sam, we're
crossing our
rooting for
fingers
you.
for you, Sam.
All right, next up we have this photo. We have Spencer.
No.
We have Spencer.
No, some of these poses are too much.
I don't know what's happening in this photo.
But I love him.
He's a sweetie.
Spencer. Yeah, I mean Spencer. We've interviewed him. We've had him on the podcast a few times.
Really nice guy.
Nice guy. He could hold
Really
a
nice guy.
He could hold a conversation.
Very friendly.
I do remember him calling his mom when he got eliminated from
Please.
Jen season.
I know,
Yeah.
but like, he didn't get that phone himself.
But yeah, I think I could see Spencer. I could see Spencer getting engaged.
Yeah,
I could, I
you
could
know.
see him get engaged too.
He was one of the people we got to interview as well. And it was so funny. Inside tidbit of our press junket, I remember all of us would go in one at a time. And every single time somebody came out from interviewing Spencer, I think I was the last of the group every time. And every time somebody came out of Spencer's interview, they were like, He's amazing. I love this guy.
Oh,
He's
that's so good.
fun. I mean, and you walk in and he immediately makes you feel comfortable. He's super bubbly. Also I think he's had a glow up because I fear I don't remember the Spencer.
He's looking a
Jen
little buffer
season.
in this photo than I recall.
I don't know if it's the hair, the stash. Yeah, he definitely
Yeah.
looks buffer. I think when you see yourself on TV, you probably like my favorite shows are the Women and Men Tell All because it's after you've like witnessed the TV version of you and you're like, maybe that haircut
Oh yeah.
is not the vibe. And
I
so
looked better
love
at my
seeing the
tell-all
glow-ups.
than I did in a single episode of The Bachelor.
Yes. Not yes about you, but that's the whole thing is like watching the glow ups is so fun. And I think he's had one
I agree.
as I'm like biting my lip.
Okay, next up, last but not least.
Zoe.
Zoe. These photos overall are just way more like glamorous.
These are
and,
glamour shots.
like this every single photo is like a million times better than my Paradise cast photo. Like they are gorgeous.
These are stunning. And I mean, she's a model. So she's like, okay, great. Put me in a bikini, babe. Also engineer. I fear we always miss out on that. So I love Zoe. Her and I have like become definitely like girlies throughout Grant season and stuff. She's so fun to be around. She was one of the people we interviewed as well. So I got to meet her in person for the first time there. And she is, I mean, she's quiet, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say. I
so-
think my biggest fear
yeah.
for her is I feel like she will
Maybe
have a
like her and
hard time
Kyle.
in like big groups, like big group setting. Day one, like I can see being very difficult for her.
I think so too.
I know. But I wonder if that might be an advantage. I don't know. Like, I think, man, I really am. I'm hoping for her because she didn't get that one-on-one during Grant's season, but made it to hometowns. And I really like her. And that purple.
Yeah, I like the purple.
Gorge.
I
It's
like
a
the
really
purple.
good color. It's a beautiful photo. Yeah.
I'm excited
I-
to see what happens because she kind of had a villain edit a little bit at the beginning of Grant season. And then Jared and I, when we were talking, like going through the show, we're like, oh, wait, we really like her. You know what? I think we were confused at the beginning, but this is just who she is. And
Yes.
it's not like some sort of act that she was putting
Yeah,
on.
it's not put on.
Yeah, we
That's-
really like her too.
She was one of the genuine people on that season.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've had her on the podcast a few times. I feel like she actually is really ready for a serious relationship. Whether
Yeah.
this environment is going to work for her, I'm not sure.
Don't know.
I think she's someone that, as much as she was like very forward on Grant season, I think she'll do better in this environment if there's a guy there that's really pursuing her.
Correct. Oh my gosh, I totally agree with that. I think the guys need to pursue her. Like it's going to have to be a come to me.
Yes,
Kind of
I
a
think
moment.
that's what she'll be more comfortable with if like she can just be chill and pretty and they can be like, hey, I really like you. So
Correct.
we'll see if that plays out or if her
Yeah.
dude is on the beach.
Okay, well, that is everyone. Kay, thank you so much for coming on. Before we let you go, out of all
Yeah.
the cast that we just looked at and judged harshly, who, if you were to pick one couple out of that, who are you taking? Who are you putting your money on
I like
to
this
make
question.
it to the end, not to, just
make
like
it to the end.
to not to just hook up. Like, who would you think out of that whole, if that original cast, if two were to get together and get engaged?
I would say, because we talked about this, I think it's going to be Kat is going to be one of them because I do think she's going to get engaged every season. I think she's going into this like fully head on.
Yes.
And because we also mentioned Dale, I think a Kat and a Dale could be a really interesting couple.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
I like it.
I
Both
think
like
that's an-
returning veterans. Both have been
Yes.
engaged before in very, very, very short amounts of time. Meaning they're kind of willing to just like throw caution to the wind and say
Full
like, fuck
send.
it, let's get engaged.
Both look like they could be Old Navy models, like for like
Old
the Old
Navy,
Navy like
yes.
the Christmas campaign. They're both in that.
Yeah, they're both in the plaid pajamas
Yeah,
in front of
they're
the
in that.
Christmas tree
Absolutely.
catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good match.
I would say if there's going to be anybody that makes it to the end and gets engaged, it would be those two, and it would mainly be because of Kat holding a knife to Dale's back.
Yeah.
I mean, like, do it.
We're getting
Well,
engaged.
Cool. Kay, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day.
Thank you.
And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Bachelor Happy Hour. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast.
We have new and exclusive interviews coming your way as we tee up towards the new season of Bachelor in Paradise. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.